It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. My friends, you have arrived on a Monday. That means it's a Metal Monday, and we're doing it right. Again, today, we've had a great string of Metal Monday, some really great Metal Monday episodes, and as we are now in February, we're going to continue that in the new year, and I know it's going to be a good one because we're going back to Judas Priest, and I'm happy that you are here because this is only my fourth time reviewing music from this classic heavy metal band. We first heard their song Dreamer Deceiver. That was in episode 274. We heard Painkiller in episode 420. And then most recently, we've heard You've Got Another Thing Coming. That was episode 554. But it's been about 11 months since we heard that one and since we've had any music from Judas Priest on the channel. So I'm really glad to return to their music today with one of their more classic songs. It is called Victim of Changes. So let's get to it, shall we? Victim of Changes is from Sad Wing of Destiny, which was the band's second album, which they released in March of 1976. And like a lot of these bands getting their start, they started off with an independent label and not a major label. And their first two albums were released under the independent label Gull. And sales were relatively weak, not as much as they would have hoped. And so after this second album was released, they decided to break their contract with Gull and move over and sign with CBS Records for their next album. And with a better, more widespread distribution with CBS, they furthered their career and their financial and artistic success after this. But this album that didn't sell initially as well as they would have hoped has gone on to be regarded as one of the more important albums in heavy metal history. And as I read in, there's just accolade after accolade for the music on this album. And this song, Victim of Changes, leads off the album. And it's the longest on the album. It's nearly 8 minutes long. And it's become one of their preferred albums in their live concerts. For the last 40 years, they've been performing this really often, and this song has appeared multiple times on live albums throughout the band's career. I almost went with the live cut today, but I opted for the original studio release for today's review, so let's get to it. Rob Halford is on the vocals, KK Downing is on guitars, Glenn Tipton is on guitars and keyboards, Ian Hill is on the bass, and Alan Moore is our drummer. So let's get to it, y'all. Here is Victim of Changes from Judas Priest. Here we go. Fade in. A lot of these songs that start albums kind of fade in, don't they? Heavy riff. Okay. Pentatonic minor going down. Awesome. Woo! We're going from they're in E. E down to D. They go to the 4 and then back.
Another woman's got her man, but she won't find no connection.
Sounds like classic heavy metal, doesn't it? You get a really great riff.
Things look better when she's through.
Cool. funky things with the stereo. Some of that guitar was just over here. The last time I heard Rob, he was just over here, and now he's global. Great classic sounds. It's bluesy. Woo! Somebody made Rob mad. Takes another drink or two, things look better when she's through. It's a relationship song. It's not going well. Completely different feel here in this post-chorus. I've had enough. Good God, plucked me. He wants out of this relationship. Woo. Down to 5/7. Woo. They were using the regular 6 in there too. Space given to our guitarist here. I'm not sure which of the guitar players did that solo. Just a little bit of these ear candy elements here to go along with these heavy riffs. It almost makes it like prog proto-metal to me.
Once she was wonderful.
It's like a whole different song.
Once she was fine.
Once she was wonderful and fine.
Once she was beautiful. Once she was mine. Changes come over her body. She doesn't see me anymore.
Even the chord progressions are based on pentatonic minor. That's why everything is cohesive. Change has come over her body. She doesn't see me anymore. Something has happened in this relationship. And I love the different colors that we get from Rob's voice. We get the lower stuff. We also get the very high metal screams, right? Not happy about these changes. A completely different guitar color for another solo. They've got two guitar players. They've got KK and they've got Glenn. I'm not sure sounds like one of them did one solo and one did the other. They were completely different styles and approaches. Back to our main I can't even think that high. Maybe I should have done a live version because I would love to see Rob attempt to do that later in his career. How do you tune that down or change it if you can't do that anymore? Maybe you can. Some of these guys are just unbelievable in their physical ability to create those sounds, So maybe he can still do it. I don't know. I found a listing, and it makes more sense now. I found this listing that says that this song is actually an outgrowth of two previously written songs, and the change in the middle makes more sense to me now because I'm guessing that that's where the two songs diverted. A song called "Whiskey Woman" was written by the original Judas Priest vocalist Al Atkins with lead guitarist KK Downing. And so Whiskey Woman, that's the first line of the song, right? Whiskey Woman, don't you know that you're driving me insane? The liquor you give stims your will to live and gets right into my brain. So that's where they're starting. And then the other song that they had is called Red Light Lady, and that was written by Rob Halford before he joined the band. And I'm wondering if this was this post-chorus where it changed. You've been fooling around with some hot guy. I want to know why it is. Why? Get up, get out. You know you really blew it. I've had enough. Good God, pluck me. And then the bridge, once she was wonderful, once she was fine, once she was beautiful, once she was mine. Change has come over her body. She doesn't see me anymore. That's cool. I like how bands can do that. They well, I've got this song. Well, they're kind of in the same key. Maybe this can be a contrasting section to this. Maybe we can tie them together. It's the glue of tying together these big ideas for songs or musical pieces that are the hardest things to figure out. How do you put the connectors in and make it a cohesive sound and a cohesive piece of music? That's the hard part or the fun part, both, about writing and really putting together these big ideas that become a full piece of music. As I'm thinking about it, I think it's really odd that this song was never released as a single. Think about that. It's one of their more classic tunes. I think it's a strong song, and it has obviously become a fan favorite over the years as the band keeps bringing it to their live shows. It's interesting that they chose not to, especially with it being, the longest one on the album. Maybe that was because they couldn't break it down or cut it for radio play, but it's the first song on the album, and it starts off their big second album, and never a single. That's interesting to me. The song's lyrics, we've alluded to this, they deal with this faltering relationship due to alcohol abuse. And the thing that I found interesting about this was usually it's the man dealing with the alcoholism, but this time it's the woman. And as we hear in the song, the relationship started off well, but her drinking led to strife, to conflict, to infidelity even in the relationship, and ultimately to the demise. He wants out, and it doesn't seem like it's going to last very much longer. And of course, writing about human relationships is always an evergreen thing to do. We hear a lot of songs on human relationships, especially between a man and a woman. And this one I thought was really unique in that it was the woman dealing with her demons and alcoholism instead of the guy. And that makes for a really interesting point of view. Victim of Changes from Judas Priest. I understand, y'all, why this one has been around for so long and been a staple of their live shows. It sounds like a big, sturdy riff. It's blues-based. It gives Rob a chance to do his thing on the vocals. You got a couple of guitar solos, and you can stretch it out if you want to. I think it's really great, and I am happy to get back to music from Judas Priest. Like I said, we've had a great run of Metal Mondays to start the year, and I am going to try my best to keep that streak going. And I'm looking forward to the next one. But that is all for today, my friends. I thank you for being with me as we started this week on a Monday with Judas Priest and their classic tune, Victim of Changes. Thanks for being with me, y'all. We'll see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.